Sachin Tendulkar's name is synonymous with cricketing excellence. From the moment he burst onto the international scene, he captivated fans and critics alike with his sublime technique, fierce determination, and the sheer artistry of his batting. Among all his shots, the cover drive was often described as his signature stroke, a shot that could silence crowds, cut through the air with breathtaking elegance, and send the ball racing through the covers. The cover drive, for Sachin, was not just a cricketing shot, it was almost an extension of his personality on the field. Graceful, confident, assertive. Watching Sachin execute a perfect cover drive was like witnessing poetry in motion, and for many fans, that shot came to define his batting style. So imagine the surprise and intrigue when, in the fourth test of the 2003-4 series against Australia at the Sydney Cricket Ground, Sachin Tendulkar consciously decided not to play the cover drive at all.
Oh, and he's got him caught behind. Yes, that's the end.
This decision wasn't an impulsive one. It came from reflection, experience, and a mature understanding of the game's tactical demands. In fact, it revealed as much about his mental strength and cricketing intelligence as it did about his physical skill. Today, we will explore this remarkable innings, one of the most extraordinary in Tendulkar's career, where he scored 241 runs without playing a single cover drive. We'll look at why he made this decision, what it tells us about his mindset, and the lessons we can all learn from his approach to facing adversity and adapting to challenges. Playing cricket in Australia is one of the toughest challenges for any batsman. The pitches are fast and bouncy, the bowlers aggressive and relentless, and the conditions demanding. For a batsman like Sachin, who was used to dominating bowlers with skill and timing, the Australian challenge required not just technical proficiency, but also immense mental resilience. During the 2003-4 series, Australia had one of the strongest bowling attacks in the world. They knew Sachin's strengths and weaknesses well. One particular weakness they exploited was his tendency to drive balls pitched just outside the off-stump, especially through the covers. The bowlers bowled consistently outside the off-stump, tempting Sachin to play his favourite cover drive. The Australian slip cordon and gully fielders were strategically placed, ready to pounce on any edge. This setup led to Sachin getting out a couple of times, playing the cover drive to balls outside off-stump. It was a pattern that threatened to undo him in crucial moments. After facing this challenge, Sachin made a decision that many would have found difficult. He decided to stop playing the cover drive altogether during that innings. He later explained his thought process simply and honestly. I had got out a couple of times to balls bowled outside the off-stump, so I decided not to play the cover drive. That statement holds immense power. To understand why, consider how natural and instinctive the cover drive was for him. To willingly put that shot aside showed a level of self-awareness and humility that few players possess. It was a recognition that sometimes even your greatest strengths can become weaknesses if your opponent has figured out how to exploit them. The decision was not just tactical, but deeply mental. It meant sacrificing flair and natural expression for caution and pragmatism. Leaving the ball outside off-stump is one of cricket's most underrated skills. For many batsmen, the temptation to cut or drive can be overwhelming, especially when the ball's pitched in a tempting area. But Sachin chose to leave those balls. He refused to play the shot that was getting him out. He focused on leaving well and playing other scoring options, typically on the leg side or through the gaps that didn't carry the same risk. He said, "They were bowling consistently outside the off-stump, and I decided to leave all those balls." Leaving the ball requires incredible discipline and judgment. Misjudging the line can lead to bowled or LBW dismissals, and yet misplaying the ball can mean edges to the slips. Sachin's ability to balance this fine line during that innings showed his technical maturity. What makes this innings even more remarkable is that Sachin made a public declaration that he was not going to play the cover drive. This was a bold move, especially for a player of his stature. By making this declaration, he essentially set a personal rule, a boundary he refused to cross. This kind of mental clarity helps bring focus during long innings. It removes doubt and second-guessing. And it clearly worked. The fourth test at the SCG in 2004 remains one of the most iconic innings in cricket history. Not just for the runs, but for the manner in which they were scored. Sachin batted for over 613 minutes, facing 436 balls. He accumulated 241 runs, showing patience, resilience, and tactical brilliance. But the astonishing fact is that throughout this marathon innings, Sachin never once played a cover drive. No elegant drives piercing the covers. No trademark shots that had become his calling card. Instead, he scored through the onside, rotated the strike, and waited for the right deliveries to score. This approach frustrated the Australian bowlers and their plans. Mental strength is the backbone of any great innings, and Sachin's 241 at the SCG is a perfect example of this. Even after reaching the century mark, a point where many batsmen tend to relax, Sachin remained fully committed to his plan. He didn't play a single risky shot, he didn't reintroduce the cover drive into his innings. This demonstrates an extraordinary level of concentration and discipline. To hold back your natural instincts, resist the urge to play the shots you love and stay focused on what's working. That is mental toughness at its finest. The Australian team watching this innings unfold must have been both frustrated and amazed. They waited patiently for Sachin to play the cover drive. The slips and gully fielders were set to catch that edge. But Tendulkar didn't give them that opportunity. He dictated the game on his own terms. He outthought the opposition. And in doing so, he delivered a masterclass in adaptability. Sachin's innings teaches us that adaptability is vital in any pursuit.
On the leg side, trying to get the in-swinging Yorker in, didn't quite get it right.
You might have favourite moves, favourite ways of doing things, but when circumstances change, you must change with them. Rigidly sticking to one way, no matter how skilled you are, can lead to failure. Being willing to change, even giving up something you love, can lead to success. Sachin showed that learning from mistakes and evolving is what makes champions. We often celebrate the big shots, the boundaries, the flamboyance. But behind every great innings lies discipline and patience. Sachin's innings at the SCG is a shining example. He batted patiently for hours, resisted temptation, and trusted his judgment. This is a reminder that success is often about what you don't do, what you hold back, as much as what you do. What makes this story so powerful is that it applies far beyond cricket. In life, whether in work, relationships, or personal goals, we often face situations where our usual ways don't work. Maybe a favourite strategy isn't delivering results. Maybe you have to resist a temptation that feels natural but is counterproductive. Sachin's innings is a lesson in self-awareness, adaptability, and mental resilience. It's about recognising when to change course, sticking to that change, and having the discipline to see it through. Sachin Tendulkar's 241 not out at the SCG, without playing a single cover drive, stands as a testament to the fact that greatness is about mindset, humility, discipline, and the courage to adapt. Even at the highest level, Sachin was still learning, evolving, and finding ways to improve. His innings teaches us that sometimes the smartest move isn't to play your best shot, but to know when not to play it at all. And that, ultimately, is what separates good players from legends.